Namaste, yogis. Welcome to Wake Up Yoga. My name is Patty, and I'm going to get you through practice this morning. We're going to start in Hero's Pose today. So if you would like to grab either a couple blocks or books to sit on while I read our waiver. So in order to make these classes as freely accessible as possible for our participants, we will be using a verbal warning and assumption of risk at the beginning of each class. Participation in this online class is voluntary. Physical activity programs may result in injury, and by participating, you assume the risk of injury that may result from your participation. We strongly recommend that you participate from a space that is suitable for this activity. For example, make sure you have moved nearby furniture or other potential hazards. If you are participating in a yoga class or a class that involves laying on the ground, we recommend using a mat, or if you don't have one, a carpeted area. Participants are encouraged to stop if they experience pain or injury and should seek appropriate medical advice or care as needed. William & Mary Health and Wellness strongly recommends that each participant have an annual physical exam and follow the advice of your healthcare provider before participating. So again, welcome everyone. Just taking some time right now to allow yourself to just settle in. Start aligning the shoulders over the hips. Finding the sits bones either into your prop or your mat. Starting to find some mild core engagement, that feeling of the navel lifting up towards the rib cage. Allow yourself a little external rotation of the shoulders and soften the shoulder blades down the back. Drawing awareness to the spine, allow yourself to elongate the spine, finding a little space between each of the vertebrae. Draw the chin to neutral and reach the crown of the head. Taking a couple deep inhales, long exhales. Starting to notice where the breath is at as you build it today. And just honoring that space for you, letting the breath truly be your guide. Finding a rhythm of breath that feels right for your physical body. And then as you settle into that rhythm of breath, and maybe adding in an Ujjayi breath if it's in your practice, allow yourself to clear your mind space. Becoming the observer of what's going on there. Staying in the present moment for the next 45 minutes. And then, as always, the gentle reminder with our practice today. At any point that you need to pause and drink water, please do so. And then taking your practice where it needs to go today. So if you need to back away from some things, let the breath guide you to go where you need to go for that. And if you need to deepen, just let the breath guide you again. Where do you need to go to deepen the posture? And as you're ready, once you have your breath for practice, we're going to make our way to tabletop. So releasing any props that you might have. placing them in a spot that is going to be accessible to you throughout practice, remembering you can use them anytime you want. Setting up your tabletop, spreading the fingers wide, hands are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's press the tops of the feet into the floor, feeling the core lift and engage, crown of the head reaching towards the top of your mat. See if you can locate your tailbone this morning and let your tailbone reach towards the lower end of your mat. Broadening across the shoulders, opening the heart a little bit. And then starting to move into your cow, gaze up towards the top of the mat. And moving right through into your cat. Staying in your rhythm of breath, moving through cow and cat at your pace, exploring the spine. See if you can, as you move through, articulate the spine, noticing each vertebrae. What is each vertebrae telling you today? Once you have that awareness, then adding in any other movement, organic, that your body desires. So whether it be some rocking side to side or drawing circles with the hips, whether it be some cat or cow bows, it may just be rocking back and forth. It may be some figure eights. Taking your time to add in and explore. What are all the joints telling you today? Then making your way back to tabletop. Drawing awareness into the left leg. We're going to extend the left leg long on the mat, all 5 toes touching. Once you feel that hip point nice and even, core engaged, lift that heel up, keeping flexion in the foot. Reaching the right arm out in front if that feels right. The thumb is facing up. Breathe. Reach through the heel, reach through the fingers. And then bringing the hand and the knee back to the mat. Take a cat and a cow. Moving to the other side, elongating the right leg, all 5 toes on the mat. Core engaged, flexion in the foot when it feels right. Lift that heel up. Gaze is still down at the mat as you reach the left arm out in front. Thumb up. Relaxing the shoulders. Engage the core. Push through that heel just a little bit more. Reach through the fingertips. One more breath here. Place the left hand, right knee on the mat. Take a cat and a cow. And then drawing the big toes together, we're going to take the knees a little wide. We're going to sink the hips towards the heels and find child's pose. Resting the third eye on the mat. Placing the arms where it feels right for you. So if it feels right to draw the arms along the side of the body, releasing the wrists, go there. As you place the third eye on the mat, allowing an intention to form for practice today. If no intention comes right to mind, you're welcome to join me in mine, which is just to stay in this moment throughout practice. Gently maybe rocking the third eye, right and left. Sealing that intention in. Coming back to center. Just pausing here. And then reaching the arms out in front. Make your way up to tabletop. From here, moving into spinal balance again. Taking your time or stepping right into it. We're going to go left leg out, right arm in front. From here, we're just going to hug the left knee in while we leave the right arm out in front. Extend the leg back out. One more time, hug that left knee in. Extend it back out. Third time, hug the knee in, pause. Extend it back out. Hand to the mat, knee to the mat. Take a cat and a cow. Coming back to center, finding that tabletop as we move to the other side. So extending the right leg out, extending the left arm out. Options, hugging that knee in. Challenge yourself to leave that left hand extended, letting the core do all the work here. After your third round, placing hand and knee on the mat. Find that child's pose, releasing the wrists. Always knowing that heroes is an option. You feel that that is right for you. One more breath cycle here. Then reaching the arms out in front, tucking the toes, lifting the hips, finding your first downward dog of practice. Taking time this morning to explore that posterior chain, seeing what's going on, maybe coming up high onto the toes, engaging the core a little more, maybe shaking the head yes and no, maybe walking the dog just a little bit. Draw awareness into the hands. Make sure the fingers are spread nice and wide. And then draw awareness into the feet, making sure that they're about that hip distance apart. When you're ready to find stillness in your dog, just allowing the heels to sink towards the floor. Mindfully walking the hands back towards the feet. Just come into a nice forward fold here. Bend the knees as much as you need to rest the abs on the quads. Maybe again, shaking the head yes and no, releasing any tension in the upper body. Maybe holding on to opposite elbows, rocking side to side. Then releasing the hands from wherever they are. You're going to trace the hands up the shins, find that half left. Exhale, release. Walking the hands back out. You're going to come back into downward dog. Rolling forward into a plank, taking time to get your plank set up, core engaged, and then lower the knees, come onto the tops of the feet. Hug the elbows and lower all the way down to the mat. Third eye on the mat, hands underneath the shoulder heads. Exhale all the air out. Inhale, elongate that spine. Come into a baby cobra. Exhale, release. One more time, if you're ready to place a little weight in the hands, go ahead and go there. Coming up a little higher in your cobra. Exhale, release. Third time, inhaling up. This time we're going to hold for 3 breaths. Exhaling, releasing. Pressing yourself up into tabletop, taking a cat and cow if that feels right, and then making your way to down dog. Mindfully making your way to the top of the mat. If you're walking, start with the right foot. If you're hopping, do it quietly. Find that forward fold. Inhale that half lift. Exhale, release. Reaching the arms out in front, engage the core, bend the knees, come all the way up with a flat back. Hands up and overhead, palms together. Float hands through to heart center as we find some SDT right here. Pausing. Checking in with our breath. Reminding ourselves of our intention. And then as you're ready, releasing the hands and settling into your mountain pose, your pose of strength, stability. Take time to find grounding in the feet. Find those 3 points. That micro bend in the knees, those quads are nice and engaged. That pelvis is neutral, core is engaged. The heart is shining forward, so maybe a bigger external rotation of the shoulders. Elongating the spine, crown of the head reaching. And then the gentle reminder as we move through our flow this morning. At any point when we call for a flow, remembering cat and cow is a flow, cobra, up dog, wherever it feels right for you. And as always, the gentle reminder, no flow is an option also. So as you're ready, reaching the arms up and overhead. Exhale, we're gonna with a nice flat back, swan diving forward. Inhale, take a half lift. Exhale, release. Hands coming to heart center. We're going to hinge back up, but we're coming into a chair. Breathing into our chair. Core engaged. Shoulders externally rotated, heart shining forward. Exhale, swan dive forward. Placing both hands on the mat, you're gonna step back with the left foot and you're gonna set up warrior 2 legs. When you're ready, you're gonna cartwheel up into warrior 2. Breathe. Inhale, flip the right palm up, finding reverse warrior. Come on back down into warrior 2, and then cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Frame that front foot, spin onto the toes of the left foot, bring that heel down to the mat as you straighten out the right leg. Bending the right knee, you're going to draw that right foot back, finding a plank, moving into a flow. If you're ready for up dog, going there. Meeting in down dog. 2 breaths here before you mindfully make your way to the top of the mat. Keeping track of what foot you're starting with. If you're walking, soften into that forward fold. Maybe you're ready to take the hands behind the body, either hugging behind the legs or interlacing the fingers. Wherever the hands are at, you're gonna release them down to the floor. Find that tabletop back, that half lift. Exhale, release. Bringing hands to heart center, we're coming back up into that chair. Engaging the core, lifting up all 10 toes. Breathing, maybe sinking a little deeper. Exhale, forward fold. Placing both hands on the floor, stepping back with the right foot this time. Setting up those warrior two leg. When you're ready, cartwheeling up. Finding that warrior two. Sink a little deeper into it, engage that core a little more. Lift the left palm, find that reverse warrior, lengthening both sides. Reaching. Come back into warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Frame that front foot, spin onto the right toes, straighten the left leg, folding forward. Bending the left knee, draw that left leg back. Finding a flow here, if it feels right. Meeting down dog. Lowering the knees, finding either hero or child's pose, checking in. As we begin to add on to our flow, remembering everything is an option except for the breathing. As you're ready, making your way to down dog. Mindfully making your way to the top of the mat. Finding that forward fold that suits you. Maybe this time lifting up the feet, placing the hands under the feet, massaging the wrists with the toes as you draw the third eye closer to the body. Releasing the hands, find that half lift, a little more core engagement maybe. Shift the weight into the toes. Exhale, release. Hands to heart center. Yes, we're making our way back to chair. One more breath here. Exhale, release. Finding that forward fold. Placing both hands on the mat. We're going to step back with the left foot and find that warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale back into warrior two. Cartwheeling the hands down to the mat, framing that front foot, spinning onto those back toes, straightening the front leg, folding, maybe a little deeper. Bending the knee, we're going to step back. This time we're coming to downward dog. Inhaling the right leg, we're going to come to three-legged dog. Staying in down dog, we're just going to hug the right knee into the chest. Exhale it back out. Hug the knee into the chest. Exhale it out. This time, hugging the knee into the chest, starting to shift forward, and then taking the right foot and extending it out to the left side. Coming onto the razor edge of that right foot, either staying here or rotating onto the inner edge of the left foot, reaching the left arm up. Floating that left hand back. Coming back onto the toes of the right foot, keeping flexion in that flexion in the right foot. Hug that right knee back in. Find three-legged dog. Coming forward into a flow, or just placing the right foot on the floor. Meeting back in down dog. And then mindfully making your way to the top of the mat. Exhale, soften into that forward fold. All the options that you have, or just allowing yourself to be in stillness. Tracing the hands up the shins, find that half left. Exhale, release. Bringing hands to heart center. Come on up into chair. Breathing deeply, engaging that core. Lifting the chest a little higher, maybe sinking the sits bones a little deeper. Exhale, release. Placing both hands on the mat, you're going to step back with the right foot. We're setting up that warrior two here, so when you're ready, come on up into warrior two. Making sure you're firmly planted on the floor. Flip the left palm. Come on up, reverse warrior. Back down into warrior two. Cartwheel the hands down to the floor. Spinning onto the right toe, straightening the left leg. Lengthen the body. Bending the left knee. Hands are on the floor. You're stepping back to down dog. And then moving to the other side here. We're going to take that left leg, lift it high, hug it into the chest, staying in down dog. Reach it out to three-legged dog. Inhale it one more time. Hug, hug, hug it in. Exhale it back. This time, as you hug it in, shift forward. Reach that leg through the right side, planting the foot on that razor edge. Roll to the inner edge of the right leg. Reach the right hand up. Breathe. Right hand back down. Spin onto the toes of the right foot. Hug that left leg in. Reach it out to three-legged dog. Coming into a flow, or just pausing in down dog. Meeting back in down dog if you did a flow. 2 breaths. Lower the knees to the mat. Find either child's pose or hero. Checking in with the breath. Then if you're in child's pose, we're going to all meet in hero. Lengthening the spine, making sure the shoulders are over the hips. You're going to reach the arms out to a T. From here, you're going to draw the arms out in front, cross right elbow over left. And either placing hands on shoulders, backs of the palms together, or coming into the full bind here. Eagle arms. Lifting the elbows up wherever you are, and hug them into heart center. Just a little bit more. Breathe into the back body. And then releasing the arms, draw them out to the side. Come into goal pose, arms, shine the heart forward. Bringing the arms back out to a T, shoulders over hips. We're going to draw the arms out in front. We're just reversing this time. So left over right, finding the bind or what's appropriate for you on the side. Settling in for a moment. And then lifting the elbows up. Hug them into heart center. Breathe. Just gently noticing the differences, right versus left. Staying in that space of curiosity, not judgment. And then releasing the bind as the arms come out, finding that heart opener one more time. Nice skull post or cactus arms, shining the heart forward. Then coming back to neutral, placing the hands on the mat. We're going to walk the hands out and finding tabletop here. Taking a cat and a cow to release the spine. And then crossing over at the ankles or sending the legs to either the right or the left. You're coming down onto your sits bones. You're going to bring the legs to the top of the mat as you set up Dandasana here. So toes are pointing towards the ceiling. Pressing into the heels, you're going to lift the legs up just a little bit. And then let the legs soften into the mat, keeping that nice natural micro bend in the knees. Engage the core, lift the spine a little higher, and then reach the arms up and overhead. Hinging at your hip crease, you're going to hinge forward and reach for your toes. Knowing you can always bend your knees to find the toes. Keeping the spine nice and long. Lengthening the body. Each exhale, see if you can soften just a little bit more. If it feels right and your spine and neck are healthy and you want to start tucking the chin, rounding the back, go ahead and go there. On an inhale, come on back up, nice long spine. And then with awareness of the hands, release them from the feet as you reach the palms up and overhead. Draw hands through to heart center on an exhale. Then with a nice long spine, just sitting here for a moment in Dandasana, noticing maybe some openness. And then as you exhale, starting to recline down onto the mat. Making it as much or as little work as you want this morning, but making sure that you articulate the spine. Once the head reaches the mat, releasing the arms along the side of the body, Bringing the feet to the floor, knees facing up. Just gently rock the knees side to side. And then taking the right foot, lifting it off the floor, reach that right foot up towards the ceiling. Taking the hands, walking them up the right foot, leg, drawing that right leg in just a little bit more. Then letting the hands release from the leg, you're going to cross the right leg over the left. And it's the hamstrings are going to rest on that left quad. Staying here or coming into the full bind, wrapping that right foot underneath the left leg. Staying here or making your way into a twist from here. So deciding if you're going to take the arms out to cactus, a T, or just place them along the side of the body, and then reclining the legs over towards the left side. Keeping the gaze up at the ceiling, make sure that you're keeping that right shoulder on the mat. Remembering the point of the twists are not to get the knees to the mat or the floor. It's to feel it within the body. So move into the twist with control. On an inhale, drawing the knees back up. Releasing the bind. And then taking that right leg, lifting it up towards the ceiling, rolling that right ankle out. And then reaching with that right heel out towards the front of your mat, taking your time to slowly bring that right leg long out and onto the mat. Once the heel reaches the mat, just let that right foot rock side to side. Just moving that femur head in that right hip. Finding stillness there, bring the right foot to the floor, meeting the left. Evening out the hips if you need to, lifting the pelvis up, bringing it to that neutral place. And then when you're ready, lifting the left leg up towards the floor, flexion in the foot. Reaching the hands for the legs, starting to walk the hands up the leg, drawing the leg a little closer to the body. Then releasing the hands from the leg, we're going to go into that bind and twist on the other side. So you're going to cross left hamstring over right quad. Pause for a moment. Deciding if the full bind is right for you on this side. Taking the arms out to what feels right for this side. So you can keep the shoulders on the mat. And then starting to recline towards the right side with the knees. Breathing into it, noticing the differences in that space of curiosity. Then drawing the knees back up, releasing the bind when you get there. Then lifting that left heel up towards the ceiling, reaching through that left heel as you slowly draw that left leg out, reaching the heel for the mat. Same thing here. Once the heel touches, gently rock the foot side to side, rotating that femur. Then drawing the left foot to the floor, you're going to hug the knees into the chest. Rocking side to side or drawing some circles with the knees. Massaging that sacrum, the back of the pelvis, the lower back. And then if your body is craving that little yoga egg, and only if your back and neck is healthy, drawing the third eye or the nose up towards the knees, hugging the elbows and squeezing out all the air, coming into breathless. And then as you're ready to take an inhale, starting to gently place the shoulders and the head on the mat. Mindfully and gently releasing the hands from the legs, letting the feet float to the floor. And then extending the legs long into your Shavasana. Taking your time to settle into Shavasana. I'm going to close class this morning with us in Shavasana. Allowing you the time, if it's available, to lengthen your Shavasana to the time needed. This is the most important pose of our practice. I'm so grateful to you all for allowing me the opportunity to share practice with you this morning. I truly hope the benefits of practice follow you into your day. Namaste, yogis. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.